So it looks like Germany isn't the only market where AMD is doing well, as reports from major Asian-based retailers show the same trend for Ryzen processors, which are now gaining more popularity than Intel's Core processor lineup. According to Danawa Research, a firm run by Danwa, which is one of the biggest retailers in South Korea, the volume of AMD Ryzen CPUs sold exceeded that of Intel Core processors just a few days after the new Ryzen 3000 series chips became available on store shelves. Starting Monday, July 8th, as soon as the market opened, AMD sales witnessed a huge jump of 48.72% versus 28.24% just a day earlier. This trend continued, and the volume of AMD CPUs sold exceeded Intel just 2 days at 53.36% versus Intel's 46.64%. Not only that, but the research firm has shared the statistical figures in which show the number of clicks on their retail outlet for each processor brand. And the same results were reported, with more users now searching and looking into AMD processor lineup. In comparison, the AMD CPU drew the attention of up to 76.95% of users, while only 23.05% of users were interested in the Intel lineup. Since the launch, AMD Ryzen 7 3700X has attributed to 10.34% sales, the Ryzen 5 3600 has attributed to 8.23% sales, the Ryzen 5 2600 is at 7.5% sales, and the Ryzen 9 3900X at 4.92% of sales. The Ryzen 3 3200G came in at 3.25% sales. In comparison, Intel's Core i5 9400 sales was 14.55%, while the Core i7 9700K was at 9.08%. And this was overtaken by the Ryzen 7 3700X. Intel's Core i9 9900K only managed 3.85% of total sales, which are even lower than the $500 US Ryzen 9 3900X, which offers more cores and much better performance per value. The other breaking news comes from BCN Ranking, who round up data from major outlets in Japan, who report that the AMD Ryzen CPUs have managed to overtake Intel's share and now stand at 50.5% versus Intel's 49.5%. And this is a continuing trend, with Intel's market share showing a downward trend, as it was 72.1% back in October of 2018 and has now seen a major fall. If that wasn't enough, Passmark, who rounds up data from thousands of performance test results in their database, has now updated their latest market share numbers for AMD and Intel CPUs. This Q1 2019 marked AMD's highest CPU share gain in 5 years and shows a massive jump for the red team, which goes off to show that this trend isn't just region specific, as many have thought. It's the disruptive nature of AMD's Ryzen processors which have led them to not only gain the trust of high-end enthusiasts, but also mainstream users that are indeed back in the game. Ryzen will continue to get better and offer more competition in the market with the upcoming generations. According to the Passmark market share report, Intel CPU shares fell from 76.9% to 70.7%, while AMD grew their market share from 23.10% to 29.3% from Q1 2018 to Q1 2019. With AMD having a strong roadmap, which is going past 2020, and the future of Zen cores and proper lineup of desktops, notebooks, servers, and high-end desktop platforms against a weakened Intel who can't move away from the 14 nanometer on their mainstream families just yet, it looks like AMD is just going to keep eating up Blue Team's market share. Now, these are interesting numbers and of course are only relative to the markets and benchmarks that they're referring to, but I would definitely love to know how many people in our audience has switched from Intel to AMD, or if you're in the market for a chip, are you considering Intel or AMD, and why? Obviously you only have two choices, but why would you pick either one? Either way, this has been Keith with WCCF Tech TV. Make sure that you're subscribed and hit that notification bell so that we don't miss you and the next one.